Hey, sorry this has to have a part two. Ms. Black called me about 30 times during my last video, so it cut me off. We left off, we had two new characters, Randy and Bob. Here we go, we're gonna go back in. My fault. Alright, and 2-Bit added Grimly, a few other of the socially elite checkered shirt set. Your boyfriend's? Johnny's voice was steady, but standing as close to him as I was, I could see that he was trembling. I wondered why. Johnny was a nervous wreck, but he never was that jumpy. Cherry started walking down the street. Maybe they won't see us. Act normal. Who's acting? 2-Bit grinned. I'm a natural normal. Wish it was the other way around, I muttered, and 2-Bit said, Don't get mouthy, pony boy. The Mustang passed us slowly and went right on by. Marcia sighed in relief. That was close. Cherry turned to me. Tell me about your oldest brother. You don't talk much about him. I tried to think of something to say about Derry and I shrugged. What's to talk about? He's big and handsome and likes to play football. I mean, what's he like? I feel like I know Soda from the way that you talk about him. Tell me about Derry. And when I was silent, she urged me on. Is he wild and reckless like Soda? Is he dreamy like you? My face got hot as I bit my lip. Okay, guys, so we just got our question answered for number 7. So again, you should give your restate and answer there. Pony's face got hot because, how is he feeling right now? And then your text evidence again should be those words and phrases leading up to the character action. So we should have is he dreamy like you? And also the line where it says, my face got hot as I bit my lip, right? Little clues here to tell us why his face might get hot. All right, Derry. What was Derry like? I started to say that he was a good old guy, but I couldn't. I burst out bitterly. He's not like Soda Pop at all, and he sure ain't like me. He's hard as a rock and about as human. He's got eyes exactly like frozen ice. He thinks I'm a pain in the neck. He likes Soda, everybody likes Soda, but he can't stand me. I bet he wishes that he could stick me in a home somewhere, and he'd do it, too, if Soda would let him. 2-Bit and Johnny were staring at me now. No, 2-Bit said, dumbfounded. No, pony boy, that ain't right. You got it wrong. Gee, Johnny said softly. I thought you and Derry and Soda got along real well. They sound so country in this part. Sorry, my throat hurts. Well, we don't. I snapped, feeling silly. I knew that my ears were red by the way that they were burning. So this is a different kind of redness. I think before, I hope that you wrote the right answer, but I think he was feeling like he was blushing. He had received this compliment from Cherry. He was feeling like he liked her in that moment. She called him dreamy, right? Like, if a girl says that about you, she might like you. Now his ears are getting red, though. That's a different emotion. He's definitely feeling angry, trying to explain that his older brother doesn't like him. And nobody believes it. They think that this is the 3 brothers and they're perfect and they get along really well. And I was thankful for the darkness. I felt stupid. Compared to Johnny's home, mine was heaven. At least Derry didn't get drunk and beat me up or run me out of the house. And I had Soda Pop to talk things over with. That made me mad. I mean, making a fool of myself in front of everyone. And you can shut your trap, Johnny Cade, because we all know you ain't wanted at home either. And you can't blame them. Oh, geez. So, Pony is best friends with Johnny. And in this moment, Johnny was saying, hey, I think you actually have a really nice home. And Pony tells him to shut up because nobody wants you at home. This is a pretty low blow for Pony Boy, and it's pretty hurtful for a character like Johnny, who's very sweet and a pretty helpless guy. Johnny's eyes went round, and he winced, as though I'd belted him. Two-Bit slapped me a good one across the side of the head, and hard. "Shut your mouth, kid. If you wasn't Soda's kid brother, I'd beat the tar out of you. You know better than to talk to Johnny like that." He put his hand on Johnny's shoulder. "He didn't mean it, Johnny." "I'm sorry," I said miserably. "Johnny was my buddy. I was just mad." "It's the truth," Johnny said with a bleak grin. "I don't care." All right, I don't want to read too far. Oh, we do have 2 more pages. All right. So again, you guys should have had an answer and evidence for 5, 6, 7. We went over those in part 1 of our video. Now we're listening for just a little bit more language about how Cherry and Pony's relationship has gotten deeper. I think the best evidence so far is probably about the sunsets, that they both watch sunsets. Cherry calling him something like dreamy. That phrase, that word, definitely lets us know that they might be more than just friends. All right, page 38, last 2 pages. "Shut up talking like that," Two-Bit said fiercely, messing up Johnny's hair. "Couldn't get along without you, so you can just shut up." "It ain't fair," I cried passionately. "It ain't fair that we have all the rough breaks." I didn't know exactly what I meant, but I was thinking about Johnny's father being a drunk, and his mother a selfish slob, and Two-Bit's mother being a barmaid to support him, and his kid sister after their father had run out. Dally, wild, cunning Dally, turning into a hoodlum because he'd die if he didn't, and Steve, his hatred for his father coming out in his soft, bitter voice, and the violence of his temper. Soda Pop a dropout, so he could get a job and keep me in school, and Derry getting old before his time, trying to run a family, hold 2 jobs, and never having any fun. So, this literally just gave you every reason why the Greasers are in the gang. So this was number 1 that we had skipped yesterday in the lesson. You don't have to go back and write it, but just know that all of these reasons are either family problems, financial problems, or just like emotional problems. Dallas, it doesn't really say anything in here. It just says he would die if he wasn't a hoodlum. He just needs to run around and act wild. So this is why we didn't get to it yesterday. My fault. They were a little out of order. All right. Socials had so much spare time and money that they jumped each other for kicks. They had beer blasts and river bottom parties because they didn't know what else to do. Things were rough all over, all right. All over the east side. Just didn't seem right to me. "I know," Two-Bit said with a good-natured grin. "The chips are always down when it's our turn. But that's the way things are. Like it or lump it." I like that phrase. Cherry and Marcia didn't say anything. Guess they didn't know what to say. We had forgotten that they were there. Then the blue Mustang was coming down the street again more slowly. "Well," Cherry said resignedly, "they've spotted us." The Mustang came to a halt beside us. The 2 boys in the front seat got out. They were Socials, all right. One had a white shirt and a Madras ski jacket, and the other a light yellow shirt and a wine-colored sweater. I looked at their clothes and realized for the first time that evening that all I had was a pair of jeans and Soda's old navy sweatshirt with the sleeves cut short. I swallowed. Two-Bit started to tuck in his shirt tail, but stopped himself in time. He just flipped up the collar of his black leather jacket and lit a cigarette. The Socials didn't even seem to see us. So it's important, I guess, to stop and notice there that Pony and Two-Bit both try to change their physical appearance, or they feel self-conscious about what they look like in front of the Socials because they're more popular and nicer dressed, and it makes them feel self-conscious. But it's pretty cool that Two-Bit catches himself changing who he is, and he stops, right? He wants to tuck in his shirt, and then he's like, no, I don't need to look differently for these guys. Last page. Cherry, Marcia, listen to us. The handsome black-haired Soch with dark sweater began. Johnny was breathing heavily, and I noticed that he was staring at the Soch's hand. He was wearing 3 heavy rings. I looked quickly at Johnny, an idea dawning on me. I remembered that it was a blue Mustang that had pulled up beside the vacant lot, and Johnny's face had been cut up by someone wearing rings. So these guys who are in front of them are the same guys that jumped Johnny so badly. The social's voice broke into my thoughts. Just because we got a little drunk last time. Cherry looked mad. A little? You call reeling and passing out in the street a little? Bob, I told you, I'm never going out with you while you're drinking, and I mean it. Too many things could happen while you're drunk. It's me or the booze. The other social tall guy with a semi-beetle haircut turned to Marcia. Baby, you know we don't get drunk very often. She only gave him a cold stare, and he got angry. And even if you're mad at us, there's no reason to go walking the streets with these bums. Two-Bit took a long drag on his cigarette. Johnny slouched. He hooked his thumbs in his pockets, and I stiffened. We can look meaner than anything when we want to. Looking tough comes in handy. Two-Bit put his elbow on Johnny's shoulder. Who you calling bums? Listen, greasers. We got 4 more of us in the back seat. Then pity the back seat, Two-Bit said to the sky. If you're looking for a fight. Two-Bit cocked an eyebrow, but it only made him look more cool. You mean if I'm looking for a good jumping? You guys outnumber us, so you'll give it to us. Well? Alright, so this is where we're going to stop because we're going to finish the scene tomorrow. Again, we answered, if you re-listen to these videos, right, we answered 5, 6, and 7. We read through page 39. All you're doing is one paragraph. Give me figurative language or some words or phrases that show that Pony and Cherry are actually having a true, I don't know yet if it's a friendship or if it's a relationship, but something good. So find one piece of text evidence to show me that that is evolving and you guys are good. Again, I'm sorry that this is 2 clips. Okay, miss you. I hope you guys are watching this. Send me a message on Remind, check in. Bye guys.